Welcome to Desiro's Radio.
I'm doing a show right now because last night I did a little show and I had no idea that my mic was that messed up. And I couldn't figure out why, and I realized that I never used the headset on this computer. And I forgot about it because I normally do my shows when I'm on this computer. I do it on my phone because all the plugs are taken because I have the printer and everything like that. So I did, so I tried to do a show, and I thought it came out good and everything until I heard it. And then I went and I was like, nobody said anything. Barco, nobody told me I was breaking up the whole time. You couldn't even hear anything I said. That gave me like BTR flashbacks. That was horrible. Yeah. Well, I like that picture. That's a nice picture to have on there on your avatar. That's nice and professional. I'm going to do one too. As soon as I get my hair cut, I'm going to get new pictures because this picture now is like it's going on 3 years old. Well, whenever I came to Spreaker. So I had it for a few months on BTR, but I'm not very photogenic. But I'm going to take another picture because I'm going to try to get the boys to take one more family picture with me. I don't know. Yeah, well, see, that's how mine's going to be because now I've got like gray streaks and stuff. I mean, I'm going to dye it, but I know they're there. But I think I'm going to take this one with my glasses on. So we'll see how it looks. I got to start wearing my glasses because I'm blind as a bat. I mean, I can't hide it anymore, you know. I try to function throughout the day when I leave the house without them, and I'm just getting so clumsy. This aging thing, I'm not doing well with it. I thought I would, but I am just not doing well with it. I'm not having a good time. And you know, the whole reason is because there's a 30-pound weight gain, right? From medications and things like that. And, you know, the fact that I can't do a lot of high impact exercises and stuff like that. I can only do like older people exercises because of my leg, right? Well, for me, for my family, we're the type of people, we can't gain weight. Like we can't, 20 pounds, 30 pounds is devastating to our bodies. And for me especially, and I don't know if it's because I was a swimmer or I was so athletic before and then suddenly I'm not. You know, I don't know if that's the thing because you see these people, like we'll go to buffet and you see these people they weigh at least 300 going on 400 pounds. Like they're huge. They got more energy than I do. Okay, they're running around. I'm like, what the hell? How is that? I gained 20, 30 pounds and I can't, like, I feel like I'm suffocating. But they're able to do all this stuff. So I think that's all it is. I think it's the fact that I was so athletic before and then suddenly I wasn't, you know. So if somebody's always stationary for their whole life, I guess they don't feel it. They don't notice it, but I notice it. I'm feeling sorry for myself tonight. I went through the whole day like this. Like I was like, I don't know what it is. Something's bothering me and I can't pinpoint what it is. And it almost gave me a panic attack out of nowhere. And then, of course, you know, your anxiety goes up because you're just waiting for this panic attack. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just freaking out. And I think part of it is because I'm taking a break, right? And I'm so used to being busy. So the last 3 days, I finally had time to relax and I was going to go. just really get into cleaning my house and start on my new recycled arts. And I couldn't even get into my recycled arts yet. Well, I tried the beading yesterday and it didn't work out. I wasted a whole night, but I think I'm just like one of those people that need deadlines. If I don't have deadlines, I don't even know what to do. Like, I know what to do, but I can't, unless someone's saying, it's a matter of life and death and you must do it, I won't do it. But I want to do it. So then yesterday I was like, my God, there's all these things I want to do and so much time to do it in. And I gotta deal with my health stuff, but I have my radio show, and then I still have my YouTube, and then I still want to do this. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm also type A. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. When things slow down, it's like, I don't know what, I mean, I have so much freedom right now to do all these things that I've been wanting to do. But, so I went and I planned out my whole thing. I made a binder, and I did a couple shows on kind of what I'm doing. You know, I'm not telling people I'm doing it. I was talking about, like, the menu. I'm trying to get, like, every aspect of my life in order kind of thing. And not in order, but like some type of schedule. Because that way, if I see a schedule, and I trick my mind to thinking this is, well, it is kind of life and death because it's about health and all this, your well-being, then maybe I'll start moving, you know. I'll start doing stuff. But, panic at the Taco Bell. Panic at the... You know what, Barco? Do you remember when the Taco Bells? I remember when I was really little, and I'm talking like 5, 4. The Taco Bells, they used to look like a mission, right? And they actually had a bell that rang, and in the front was a big pit, and the pit would be on fire, and the tacos were 10 cents a piece. And all the teenagers would come out. Well, they looked like major adults to me at that time, but I guess they were teenagers. And they would all come out and sit around this pit of fire eating tacos. And, like, people would order, like, 20 tacos, you know, and then they'd all just sit out and eat these tacos for 10 cents a piece. I don't know what happened. Now it, like, totally changed. And those tacos back then, I don't know if it's because I was young, but they were like the best tacos in the world. Like they were awesome, the most awesome tacos in the world. And they seemed bigger too. But it could be just me. And I would always eat them only because I liked the cheese on it. And that's it. But yeah, so that's called a type A person. I gotta look that up. I never heard of that. But yeah, maybe that would help me understand my personality. Yeah. Remember, it's like things were so cheap. Even McDonald's and stuff, but I don't remember them taking me to McDonald's. For some reason, I was always with my dad's side of the family when I was little. And they had a bunch of kids, you know. They had like a big family. And so they'd always let me go with my aunts, which I guess were technically teenagers at the time. So I would go with them and they'd be hanging out, making out with people and stuff. And I was like oblivious. But now that I look back, I was like, I can't believe they let me go with her. You know, my aunt, she was such a slut. She was like, she's always like doing bad things. And they would like let me hang out with her all the time. It's kind of funny. But this is the aunt that I saw, maybe just, the last time I saw her was like 10 years ago. Yeah, she must have been a teenager. And then, okay, so here's another weird thing today. My hand was feeling weird, right? And I was like, what's going on? You know, so I did dishes and stuff because I do dishes by hand. I don't use the dishwasher. But, so I washed them by hand. And then I dried my hands, and my hand was feeling weird. Finally, I looked down. Oh, my God. I look like a snake. My hand is peeling everywhere. Like, there's just skin everywhere. And I was like, what the hell? So I looked it up, and it's talking about diseases, go to the emergency room, and all this stuff. And I was like, autoimmune deficiency, which, I got that. But I was like, no. And I had to really think about what I did. And I remembered I cleaned, and I used straight on the Pine Sol. Like I used full strength on something. And I remember after I was done with that, my hand kept tingling, and I washed it off. But I think maybe that's what it was. Maybe it burned my skin, and now it's peeling off. I don't know. I just never thought that you could peel on your hand, but it's looking pretty disgusting. I mean, it's almost off, I guess, but I didn't know that you could do that to your... Normally I wore gloves, but I didn't wear gloves this time because I was just too lazy to put it on. That's it. Hey, Stabby! What's going on? What is that picture? Let me go look at your picture. What is that? Is that Illuminati stuff on you? Is that you? Like an Egyptian shirt with a leather jacket? Or that's nice. All right. Yeah, nice chest. Nice chest there, Stabby. Like the necklace. Necklace is nice. I was looking up those things. Okay, I'll be honest. I thought about you too, Stabby, because I have an Amazon account and they sent me something for Kindle. And I guess technically I can sell on there. I could sell books, right? And I have like 2 little books that I've been writing kind of off and on all these years. And that was another thing I was thinking about on top of my other hobbies. I was like, I really want to finish this. But they sent me this thing in Amazon saying that I can sell on Kindle in I don't know, maybe I was just thinking about it, maybe just kind of put together kind of what I put on all my shows, some of the things I talk about onto, I guess you just make it like an ebook and then you just stick it on there. And they have somebody that will do a cover for you. I mean, technically I could, but I have enough projects. Like they'll do a cover for you and they'll proof it for you or something like that. But I don't know. I'll think about it. But while I was looking at it, then I started seeing these Illuminati things. And then I looked on YouTube and they were showing that they think some of these singers are robots because they're too perfect. And this guy, in the one video, I think it was a troll. I really do, because I watched it and it was like 10 minutes long. And they were talking how Minaj, that girl named Minaj or whatever, how her butt, the reason why her butt is big is because there's a battery in her butt. And I was like, what the hell? And they were giving they drew a diagram of her body, and then the batteries are stored in her butt, and then the outer part's full of gel liquid to make it look real. And I was like, what the hell? Either somebody has a little bit of a mental illness, they have too much time on their hands, or it's a troll, right? I'm serious, Barco. Like, he was serious, too, when he was this video. And they're like, measuring her face. And they're saying other musicians are like that, too. But I think that's kind of silly, because you have Photoshop, you have cosmetic surgeons. So women, yeah, maybe they do look more plastic, but it's because, especially in Hollywood and California, because many people do plastic surgery like it's nothing, So I don't think they're robots. I just think it's just our age. But yeah, and then it went on, Alex Jones is calling, and then they were talking about Disney movies. And the Disney movies, and I was looking, but see, Disney movies... No offense to Disney, I like Monsters, Inc., okay? I like Boo. But Disney movies, they were showing that I guess what they were saying was that many Christians don't watch TV. Like I don't watch TV. But yet they'll give their kids, they'll allow their kids to watch Disney movies. And they were saying how the Disney movies have more symbolism in it than anything they ever watch. And they were going through like Aladdin, that Frozen, all these different, Lion King, and spotting out all the symbolism in it. And then I was like, okay, now I got to go watch these movies and see if that's real. Because if it's not real and they're just making this video to try to scare people. And then I was like, well, this is kind of stupid too. Because like in any art or theater, you're going to have symbolism of whatever that content is that you're showing, right? So if you're doing something Egyptian, of course you're going to make sure you have a lot of history of it in it. Not many people catch it, but those who are intelligent will catch, how they all link together. Do you mean by juvenile animators? Yeah. Look there's a Donnie Barco. Hey, Andrew. You were missed last night, Andrew. At Barco's show. But that's okay, because Barco just ignored us anyways. Barco had a show and had us call in to ignore us. I'm just kidding, Barco. He just kept playing music over us and left. Like the pyramids and all the seeing eyes. Yeah. But see, it kind of reminds me of like when they used to do that with music, back. Well, I guess they still do it now. No matter what song came out, they didn't have YouTube and all that, but any musician that was playing something, they always said, well, if you play the album backwards, it's saying this, this, this. So it's kind of the same concept, right? And I understood that graphics, they do have certain symbols and shapes and stuff, like to get you to eat, to buy things. I already knew that part. We learned and talked about all that. Like, you have to consider, like, if you make an ad, you got to consider all these shapes and symbols to make the image that you're creating enticing to people. And we did learn that, and it was always talked about. So I know that part's true in advertising. They'll do stuff like that. But the Disney ones were creepy, because it's like they'll show a portion and they'll it's a shape of a penis, and then you'll see another portion and then it says sex, and then another portion says sex, and it's like, that's not true. What if somebody saw it in a different language, okay? And they don't spell sex that way. Nothing's going to happen to them. Of course, with any squiggle lines, you can make it say anything. Yeah, some of those are hidden by animators. Yeah, exactly. So I know that could be possible. My first degree was commercial art, right? So you had to do it by hand, and we had to think of all these symbols that you could put in there, hidden. So I know that part's true. Like, you got to put stuff in there. But you are right, Desert Matcha, that don't actually exist. Yeah, like a shape or a shape that we do could mean something else to somebody else in a different country. You just so happen to make that shape. So you can make it, and especially when they're doing smoke backgrounds or swirly, magical swirls, and you see these little lines, of course you can make, you can make it say whatever you want. It's kind of like if you have a stucco wall, all right? You stare at the stucco wall. Now, these people just put the stucco on there to just put it on there. But if you stare at it, you can make some pictures. I mean, I do it all the time, but see, I'm kind of off. But you can make pictures, right? Like, you just stare and suddenly you'll see a face. Or you'll see whatever it is you're kind of trying to put together with the lines. So I think that's the way those are, too. Exactly. And that's how art is, too. I have, like, my paper art, like I do, like, these collages that are pretty much, I just put down whatever I feel. I just put it down. There's no thought behind it. And this used to make me upset in a lot of my college classes, because In order to pass these art classes, you have to answer why. You cannot say, hey, I just did it to do it. Even though that's what 99% of all the artists have done, you have to fake it out and you have to come up with a reason, right? Just to bullshit your way on why you created the piece. When in reality, most of us just did it because we felt like it, right? So I would do that to mine, and I have to sit there and stare at it and stare at it. What was I feeling? Why did I pick the color red? Why did I put that black line right there? Why did I do this shape? And the reality was I just crumbled the damn paper and I slammed it on. I just kept slamming paper on. I went into this 30-minute frenzy, and ta-da, I got art. But once it's hung, okay, so let's say we have a gallery showing, and it's hung, you'd be surprised at what people say it is. People sit there and say, oh, it looks like there's like aggression. You had some aggression and you had some thoughts of this and this. And I just shake my head and said, yeah. And then it'll trigger something and I'll be like, yeah, that's right. I did have aggression, that bastard. You know, he did piss me off. I must have been thinking that. $50,000 just to do that. I don't think I watched that because Tom Cruise kind of flipped out. I haven't watched many Tom Cruise movies, not to be mean, but, you know, I really wish actors and stuff, like you just see them as actors. I don't know, they shouldn't put out their personal stuff out there, but I guess if they're public people, I just would rather just not know. Like, I don't want to know if someone's if an actor or actress is a liberal or conservative, you know, like when it's election time and then people are like, F Whoopi, F this person, F that person, you know, because of politics. Like, they shouldn't put their stuff out there. It's kind of like you want people to know you, but not really. You know, you should always still keep things private just to be safe. Because I think it affects your income, you know, just like with the stuff I sell. Like if I use I have a Twitter for just those specific items. I talk about nothing personal, nothing. I don't give an opinion or anything because all you need is one person to say, oh, well, she believes in that. I'm not buying from her, you know, or she is this and I'm not buying from her. You know, I don't put anything out there that would indicate my ethnicity, my age, my political stands, my, you know, personal theories on things. I don't say nothing. I just post the product. Like, do you want this or not? Just kidding. Do you like it or not? Health officials urge measles vaccinations. Didn't we already have measles vaccinations? Wait. Isn't that part of your vaccine anyways? Or did they stop doing that? I forgot what measles did. Oh yeah, look at 8 hours ago. Those who suffer with measles. I know measles make polka dots or something on your face and stuff. But I don't know exactly what it is. Oh, you can develop pneumonia, ear infection, diarrhea in adults and young children. Oh yeah, I can't get this thing. I can't get measles. But I know I had the measles shot before. Oh, here. History of measles. People died. Oh my gosh. So, in 1963, estimated 400 to 500 people died a year. 48,000 were hospitalized, and 4,000 suffered swelling of the brain from measles. In 1978, the goal was to eliminate by 1982. Measles was declared eliminated in the United States in the year 2000. Oh, okay, so I thought they eliminated it. It's back. It's back. Okay, I might try to watch that years back, but yeah, that's the thing. I believe in vaccination. I mean, the vaccinations, like the ones I have, I don't think you guys, some of you have it. But back in the day, I don't know what they would call it, a booster shot or something maybe? No. Well, anyways, I have a scar on my arm. Like, usually you get a scar from it, and it's a big round circle that's just filled with little holes in it, and it would be like one shot that they would give you as a baby, and it would have all these things in it. I don't know, and it's still there somewhere. Yeah, I still have the scar. Well, the autism, autism, I think autism's always been here. I mean, it's always been here, but I think a lot of it has to do with the foods and stuff like that. I don't think it has anything to do with vaccinations. It's about food. It's about, the chemicals in our food, the way things are processed, our air quality, and I think soy and a lot of the infant meal that the kids were being given. I think there's, I don't know, something like that. But I don't think it has anything to do with, what? Now because of definition. Yeah, exactly, Savvy. There's just more awareness, but I always think it's always been around. It's always been around. There's people, it's just now people their personalities or their thinking process is more defined, and more people, belong here or there, or they think, from A to C, and then there's other people that think from A, B, C, and I think the only reason why it's brought out is because it helps as far as your learning disabilities or the way you learn. That is the only reason why it's best to try to pinpoint while they're young, because that way you understand what their thinking process is so that they can learn better. So somebody with ADD, a child with ADD would need, when they read a book, they're supposed to have like a colored card under each sentence to keep them focused on each sentence. They are to make a list of what they're going to do, visually see, when they have homework coming in, and it helps them out like that. And then another student may not need that. Another student can read the paragraphs just fine. And then someone who's dyslexic may need special help also. I think that's the one with a red card or something under the sentences, and learn how to. But I think that's the only reason why those diagnoses need to exist, is just for how to teach them. That's it. But everybody's always been different. It's just before, unfortunately, those who needed the special aids didn't have it. So those kids would get lost in the system, while the kids that didn't have to have any of these special things to learn succeeded. Like, there are some things, maybe some vaccines where kids are just too little to get. Like, I don't think they should get it right at birth, like certain things. But other ones where we're in a society that there are a lot of things preventable, because when you go to other countries, the death rate for infants is really high, and people take it for granted here in the States. You assume, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have a baby, and you already automatically assume that you're going to have a healthy baby and everything's going to be fine. And chances are maybe 90% of the time it is. But that's because of our medicines and our doctors and our vaccinations. But if you go to another country like Africa, or countries that don't have, are more tribal and stuff like that, when they are told, oh, you're going to have a baby, the parents are more like, I hope this one lives. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what's going to happen. In that first year or second year, you hope your child survives, or you hope the mother survives. If the baby's breech and they can't get it out in time, both the mother and baby will die. But here in the States, it's like, oh, well, we're going to start a C-section. It's like, it's nothing. It's like, oh, don't worry, we're just going to put him in an incubator and he'll have some air. And everything's fine. So people, I think they just take for granted that, yeah, we're in the States or, Europe, or you're in a country where medicine is good. And it's like, no, the reason why it's so good is because of all the science we have for all this stuff, right? I said I didn't even know this vaccine was that big. The whole vaccine thing. I mean, I heard it from Angela's shows. I kind of don't understand. Like, I understand some of it, I think. But it's just like everything else. There's a certain percent of, of anything you do. Even with cold medicine, they put it on there. There's a 1% chance someone could die from it. You know what I mean? Somebody can have an allergic reaction or things like that. And maybe they should just make it like, okay, fight for something like wait till or give a baby a certain test before they administer it to make sure that their immune system could handle it, things like that. But to eliminate it completely is kind of silly because there's diseases everywhere. I mean, we're human beings. We feel invincible right now because of what we have with medicines, but back in the day, what was it? Lifespan was only 40 years old? I mean, that was your lifespan. And by the time you were in your 20s and 30s, you guys would have been like old men already, Life was fast because of illnesses and diseases. Now our life expectancy is a lot higher because of the medications, vitamins, all these other things that science is able to bring to you, and then also the aging process. So a woman now in my age is considered still kind of young, they still have some life, they still have a sex life, they still have all these things. But back in the day, someone my age, I would have been like total grandma, old lady. And I would have looked it too, because I couldn't color my hair. Probably didn't have oil of Olay for your face. You didn't have your body scrubbers. You didn't have your lotion. So you'd be looking wrecked. Because women, I don't know why, I think men look better as they age. I really do. Until they get to that old stage. But I think men start looking really good like when they get into their late 30s, early 40s. I think they start looking really good. But then women deteriorate. It's a sick game, It is not fair. So if men get gray hair, they just look more handsome, like they look more distinguished and, more powerful. But women, if they get gray hair, it's more like, oh, that's grandma. It's like, oh, you're talking to grandma. It's just not right. And then they don't have to put lotion. Well, they should. I don't know, maybe Stabby does, but, they don't have to use products for their skin. Their skin always looks the same. It's all the same color, with no makeup. They can wash their face, leave the house, and their faces look fine. A girl does that with no makeup. Have you seen... Some girls can pull it off, but I'm talking about older women. Oh, hell no. You're going to see spots under the skin. Like my face, I have freckles. I have freckles all across my nose, down on my upper cheek. I got freckles going. I think I told you guys that. I have freckles. And they suck. I guess they're kind of cute in a way, I guess. I mean, when I was younger, but now it's like, oh, I want to get that. I want to get that lightening soap that they sell in Africa, but it's illegal here in the States, but I could order it if I want to and have it shipped here. But the bad thing is like these women use this lightening soap and it takes all those spots away from your face and everything. But the downside is it could give you skin cancer and you could get really sick off it. But the women do it anyways because they try to lighten their skin. But I got tempted. I did. I got tempted. I was like, but damn it, for $10, I can have this potion. What's a soap? And I can have this and it'll take my freckles away.